Motivation will hype you today and abandon you tomorrow. Discipline? Discipline shows up when you don't feel like it, when no one is watching, and when quitting feels easier than continuing. If you want real change, lasting change, this message is for you. We often wait to feel motivated before we act, but history, success, and progress tell us a different story. Great lives are not built on feelings, they are built on commitment. Discipline is the quiet force that turns dreams into reality, effort into excellence, and ordinary people into leaders. Today, we talk about the power that never leaves you, discipline. Motivation is emotional, but discipline is intentional. Motivation rises and falls like the weather, bright and powerful one moment, absent the next. It depends on how you feel when you wake up, on how inspired you are by a speech, a video, or a sudden burst of excitement. Discipline, on the other hand, does not wait for permission from your emotions. Discipline is a conscious choice. It is the moment you decide to act, even when your feelings argue against you. And that decision changes everything. When motivation is in control, progress becomes fragile. You work when you feel good, and you stop when doubt, fear, or fatigue appears. But when discipline leads, progress becomes inevitable. Discipline says, I will do what needs to be done, regardless of how I feel. It transforms action from a reaction into a commitment. This is why disciplined people continue moving forward while others stall, not because they are stronger, but because they are decided. Discipline begins the moment you choose who you want to become, not who you wish to be, not who you admire, but who you are willing to work for daily. That choice becomes your anchor. When emotions fluctuate, when confidence fades, when the excitement disappears, discipline reminds you of that decision. It becomes the bridge between intention and action, carrying your goals across the gap where motivation often collapses. Every meaningful change in life requires this bridge. Dreams alone remain powerless without consistent action. Discipline gives structure to ambition. It turns scattered effort into focused progress. It replaces excuses with execution. And slowly, quietly, it reshapes your identity. You stop asking yourself if you feel like doing the work, and instead ask whether the work aligns with the person you decided to become. There will be days when emotions fail you completely, days when doubt is loud, when energy is low, when quitting feels reasonable. This is where discipline proves its true value. It does not demand excitement, it demands responsibility. It does not seek comfort, it seeks growth. In these moments, discipline carries you forward when motivation cannot even stand. Over time, discipline rewires your mindset. What once felt difficult becomes routine. What once required effort becomes automatic. You begin to trust yourself because you know you will show up even on hard days. That self-trust builds confidence that no external motivation can provide. In the end, motivation may introduce you to the path, but discipline is what keeps you walking it. It holds steady when emotions collapse, when enthusiasm fades, and when progress feels slow. And that steadiness is what turns potential into achievement, intention into reality, and ordinary effort into lasting success. Discipline creates freedom, even though at first glance it appears to do the opposite. Many people believe freedom means doing whatever they want, whenever they want, but living without discipline often leads to chaos, stress, and regret. When impulses control your actions, your time slips away, your energy is scattered, and your potential remains locked. True freedom begins when you take control of your time, your habits, and your choices. When you master your time through discipline, you stop reacting to life and start directing it. Instead of letting distractions steal your hours, you decide what deserves your attention. You plan your days with intention, not urgency. This control gives you space to focus on what truly matters: your growth, your health, your relationships, and your purpose. Time discipline is not about restriction, it is about respect. Respect for your goals and for the future you are building. Discipline over habits works the same way. Habits shape your identity whether you choose them or not. Without discipline, unhealthy patterns quietly take over, pulling you backward while you believe you are standing still. With discipline, you consciously build habits that strengthen you. Small, repeated actions compound into massive change. Over time, disciplined habits reduce stress, increase confidence, and create stability. Stability is freedom because it allows you to move forward without constantly fixing what is broken. When discipline guides your choices, impulse loses its power. You no longer make decisions based on momentary pleasure or temporary comfort. Instead, you choose actions that align with long-term vision. This is where real freedom lives. The freedom to say no to what harms you and yes to what helps you grow. You stop being a prisoner of instant gratification and become the architect of your own life. This kind of freedom changes how you show up in the world. It gives you the ability to lead yourself before trying to lead others. Disciplined people inspire trust because they are consistent. They follow through. They do not collapse under pressure because they are not ruled by emotion or impulse. That inner control becomes quiet strength. Most importantly, discipline frees you from regret. Regret is often the result of repeated small decisions made without intention. When you live with discipline, your actions reflect your values. Even when outcomes are uncertain, you know you honored your effort. That peace of mind is priceless. It allows you to look forward instead of constantly looking back. In the end, discipline does not limit your life. It expands it. It gives you control over your direction, clarity over your purpose, and confidence in your path. With discipline, you gain the freedom to grow deliberately, to lead with integrity, and to shape a future built on purpose rather than regret. Success is built in quiet moments, far away from applause and attention. It is not created in front of crowds or cameras, but in the early mornings, late nights, and ordinary hours that no one else sees. These moments often feel insignificant, even boring, yet they carry the greatest power. Discipline teaches you to show up in these silent spaces, to do the work when there is no recognition and no immediate reward. Repetition is the foundation of this kind of success. Doing the same small actions again and again may not feel heroic, but it is transformative. Each repetition strengthens skill, sharpens focus, and builds resilience. Discipline makes repetition possible by removing the need for constant excitement. It replaces the question, "Do I feel like doing this today?" with the commitment, "This is who I am and this is what I do." Over time, those repeated actions create momentum that cannot be stopped by temporary setbacks. Consistency is what gives repetition its power. Anyone can work hard for a day or a week, but disciplined people work hard even when progress is invisible. They understand that growth often happens quietly, beneath the surface, before it becomes visible to the world. Discipline keeps you steady during this phase, reminding you that patience is not weakness, it is strategy. Consistency turns effort into habit, and habit into identity. Effort in quiet moments builds more than results. It builds character. When no one is watching, you learn to rely on your own standards rather than external validation. This independence strengthens self-respect. You begin to trust yourself because you know you will do the work regardless of praise. That trust fuels confidence, and confidence fuels perseverance. Discipline also trains you to respect the process instead of obsessing over the outcome. Outcomes are tempting because they promise quick satisfaction, but they are unpredictable and often beyond your control. The process, however, is yours to own. Discipline shifts your focus to daily actions, showing up, improving slightly, and staying committed. When you respect the process, failure becomes feedback rather than defeat. Potential alone means nothing without disciplined action. Many people have talent, ideas, and dreams, but few are willing to nurture them daily. Discipline bridges this gap. It transforms raw potential into measurable progress, step by step. Each disciplined day may seem small, but together they create unstoppable forward movement.
In the end, success is not loud at the beginning. It whispers through routine, patience, and persistence. Discipline teaches you to honor those quiet moments, to trust the unseen work, and to stay committed long before results appear. And when progress finally becomes visible, it will be strong, stable, and lasting, because it was built in silence, one disciplined day at a time. Discipline strengthens character in ways that are often invisible but profoundly transformative. Character is not something granted to us. It is something we build, brick by brick, choice by choice, day by day. Every time you commit to doing what you know is right, even when it is difficult, even when no one is watching, you are shaping the essence of who you are. This shaping begins with the simplest form of trust, the trust you place in yourself. When you make a promise to yourself and follow through, you are telling your mind and your soul that your word has value, that your intentions matter, and that you are reliable. That internal trust becomes the foundation of character.
Most people underestimate the power of these small promises. Waking up early to work on a goal, exercising when your body protests, studying when your mind wants rest. These actions may seem minor in the moment, but they are monumental in shaping your identity. Each act of discipline reinforces the message that you can rely on yourself, that your commitments are not empty words, but actions that define who you are. Character is forged in these silent battles against laziness, fear, and distraction. And the stronger your discipline, the more unshakable your character becomes. When you build this trust with yourself, confidence naturally follows. But this confidence is not flashy or loud. It does not need validation from applause or recognition. It is quiet, grounded, and steady, arising from the knowledge that you can rely on yourself under any circumstance. Confidence built on discipline does not crumble under pressure because it is anchored in the daily proof of your reliability. You know you will act when it matters, and that certainty allows you to face challenges with calm determination. This kind of confidence radiates subtly, influencing others through your actions rather than your words. Discipline also protects character from the erosion of temptation and short-term gratification. Life constantly presents opportunities to take the easier path, to compromise on values, or to give in to impulsive desires. Each time you resist those temptations and act in alignment with your long-term goals, you reinforce your integrity. Discipline becomes a shield, ensuring that your character is not swayed by fleeting emotions or external pressures. This resilience is not built in moments of comfort, but in moments of resistance, when the right choice requires sacrifice. Over time, disciplined actions accumulate, and the person you are becomes inseparable from the choices you consistently make. Your character becomes your signature, defining how you respond to success, adversity, and uncertainty. People begin to notice, not because you boast or perform, but because your reliability, integrity, and calm strength speak louder than any words ever could. Ultimately, discipline does more than help you achieve goals. It shapes the very essence of who you are. By honoring your promises, resisting short-term impulses, and committing to steady action, you cultivate a character that is trustworthy, resilient, and quietly confident. This character carries you through life, allowing you to face challenges with certainty, to inspire others without trying, and to live in alignment with the person you truly aspire to become. Discipline outlasts obstacles in a way that motivation simply cannot. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes with our moods, our energy, or the excitement of the moment. It is a spark, bright and inspiring, but easily extinguished by fatigue, fear, or failure. Obstacles, on the other hand, are constant in life. Challenges, setbacks, and unexpected difficulties are unavoidable. Motivation often flees when obstacles appear, leaving us feeling lost, frustrated, or tempted to quit. This is where discipline shows its true power. Discipline does not rely on feelings or moods.
It does not ask whether the path is easy or whether the conditions are perfect. Discipline steps forward regardless, saying, "We continue." And in that act, it carries you through the very moments when motivation fails. When you face obstacles, discipline reminds you of the decision you made to pursue your goal. It calls you back to your commitment. Motivation is fragile because it is emotional. It wants to feel good. It wants progress to be easy. It wants rewards now. Discipline, however, is grounded in choice. It knows that obstacles are part of the journey, that difficulty is not a signal to stop, but an invitation to grow stronger. Each time you confront a challenge with discipline, you reinforce the connection between your intentions and your actions, proving to yourself that your goals are more than just fleeting desires. They are commitments you honor no matter what. Discipline outlasts obstacles because it builds resilience. Every challenge becomes a test, an opportunity to strengthen the mental and emotional muscles that define your character. Motivation will only carry you so far, but discipline carries you through the days when everything seems against you. It teaches patience, persistence, and perseverance. The storms of life may batter you, but discipline ensures that you keep moving forward, steadily, consistently, and without surrender. It transforms hardship from a roadblock into a stepping stone. The power of discipline lies in its consistency. Obstacles are inevitable, but disciplined action is inevitable as well. No matter how steep the climb, no matter how discouraging the circumstances, discipline ensures that each step is taken. It does not wait for inspiration, it creates momentum through action. And that momentum compounds. Small, consistent steps over time allow you to overcome obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. In this way, discipline becomes not just a tool for achievement, but a shield against despair and doubt.
Ultimately, discipline is a declaration of identity. It reminds you not of what you feel in the moment, but of who you decided to be. Motivation may abandon you, challenges may intimidate you, and circumstances may be harsh, but discipline endures. It steps forward, unwavering, bridging the gap between intention and action. It ensures that obstacles do not define your journey. Instead, your choices, sustained by discipline, define your journey. In the end, the person who succeeds is not the one who felt most inspired, but the one who committed to continue, every day, through every obstacle, guided by discipline and the unshakable knowledge of who they have chosen to become. Discipline turns vision into legacy, transforming ideas and dreams into something tangible, meaningful, and lasting. Anyone can dream. Many people have visions of success, ideas that could change their lives, or ambitions that seem too big to reach. But a dream without action remains just that, a dream. It floats in imagination, fragile and temporary. What separates those who leave a mark on the world from those who don't is discipline. Discipline is the force that takes a vision from thought to reality, that turns abstract goals into concrete results. Disciplined people understand that showing up consistently is non-negotiable. It is not enough to have bursts of effort or occasional inspiration. True impact comes from the daily commitment to act, to build, and to advance, even when progress feels invisible. Each day, each small decision, each consistent action compounds over time. This accumulation transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. While others wait for the perfect moment or the surge of motivation, disciplined individuals create their own momentum, knowing that consistency is the engine of legacy. Discipline also teaches the power of serving something bigger than oneself. A legacy is never built in isolation. It is shaped by the positive impact one has on others, the contributions made to communities, teams, or causes greater than personal gain. Disciplined individuals recognize this. They commit to goals not solely for personal benefit, but for purpose, for service, for creating a mark that outlives them. This kind of disciplined action, rooted in vision and service, produces work that matters. It is deliberate, thoughtful, and enduring.
Excuses, distractions, and shortcuts often seduce those who only rely on motivation. Dreams alone can easily be derailed by setbacks, criticism, or fatigue. Discipline acts as the safeguard against these traps. It demands responsibility, ownership, and focus. Every step taken under the guidance of discipline is a step toward producing tangible results, not hollow promises. Legacy is not built on intentions, it is built on outcomes. And outcomes require sustained effort, resilience, and accountability. Moreover, discipline allows vision to withstand the test of time. Dreams can be fleeting, changing with trends or emotions, but a disciplined approach is steady and deliberate. It preserves the core vision, nurtures it through challenges, and steadily transforms it into something real. Over months and years, that consistent effort builds a foundation strong enough to support not only personal success, but a legacy that inspires others, sets standards, and leaves the world better than it was. In essence, discipline is the bridge between imagination and impact. It transforms lofty goals into visible achievements. It teaches patience, responsibility, and perseverance. It ensures that what is started is seen through, that visions are nurtured into realities, and that contributions extend beyond the individual. A disciplined life is not about fleeting rewards or temporary recognition. It is about creating lasting influence, leaving behind results that outlive excuses, and shaping a legacy that reflects dedication, purpose, and the power of committed action. So, don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait to feel inspired. Decide, commit, show up. Because motivation may spark the fire, but discipline keeps it burning. And when you choose discipline, you choose progress, purpose, and a future worthy of your potential.